Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhari Vallabha Girivadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhari Vallabha Girivadhari Yasodanandana Vrajagana Ranjana Nana Yasodanandana Vrajagana Ranjana Nana Vrajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhari Vallabha Girivadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivadhari Vallabha Girivadhari Yasodanandana Vrajagana Ranjana Nana Vrajagana Ranjana Yasodanandana Vrajagana Ranjana Nana Vrajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhagavatarya Satarya Satyasri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gauda Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Ram Sikosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Aganda Timarandasya Gana Vijana Shalakaya Chaksha Umli Tamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, we're continuing our reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhya Lila, chapter 19. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Srila Rupa Goswami. So we're here at the beginning. This is the next 6 chapters, or what Prabhupada put together as the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's one of the first books that he assembled. And so we're going to first read the discussion with Rupa Goswami, then Sanatana Goswami, which is, Rupa Goswami is just one chapter, and Sanatana Goswami makes up 5 chapters, ending in the Atmaram verse. What I've noticed, when you read the books of the Goswamis, what Rupa Goswami is instructed, you'll find in Sanatana Goswami's books. And you see the information that Sanatana Goswami does, you'll see all that information in Rupa Goswami's books. But it's revealed here that Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami discussed everything that they discussed with Lord Chaitanya. They shared all that information. And of course, we can read this chapter. If you just hit Rome, you could probably read it in an hour, less than an hour. And that, there was a couple of months spent, daily. So we get in the cream. So we're going to begin at text 19. What? No. Okay, so as soon as all the Brahmins and Sanatana Goswami saw Nawab appear, they all stood up and respectfully gave him a sitting place to honor him. So they're giving up their service to the Shah there, and he's staying home to study Srimad Bhagavatam with some Brahmins, and doesn't want to work for the king anymore. He just wants to renounce all of that. But he depends on him so much, the emperor or king depended on him so much that when he wasn't there, he comes to find out. Even though he said, I'm sick, I haven't shown up for work, he gave the excuse. So he goes to see firsthand. So purport. Although Nawab Hassan Shah was a Malecha Yavana, he was nonetheless the governor of the country, and the learned scholars of Sanatana Goswami offered him all respect due to a king or governor. When a person occupies an exalted executive post, one should consider that he has acquired the grace of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 41, Lord Krishna says, Yad yad vibhuti mat satpam shrimad urjitam evava tatad eva vagachatvam mama tejo mishsa sambhavam. Know that all opulent and beautiful and glorious creations spark from but a spark of my splendor. Whenever we see something exalted, we must consider it part of the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A powerful man, vibhuti mat sattvam, is one who has obtained the grace of the Lord or has derived some power from him. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 10, Krishna says, Tejas vitam aham. I am the power of the powerful. The learned Brahmin scholars showed respect to Nawab Hassan Shah because he represented a fraction of Krishna's power. Chapter, text 20. The Nawab said, I sent my physician to you, and he has reported that you are not diseased. As far as he could see, you are completely healthy. I am dependent on you to carry out so many of my activities, but you have given up your governmental duties to sit here at home. You have spoiled all my activities. What is your intention? Please tell me frankly. Sanatana Goswami replied, you can no longer expect any service from me. Please arrange for someone else to tend to the management. Becoming angry with Sanatana Goswami, the Nawab said, your elder brother is acting just like a plunderer. By killing many living entities, your elder brother has destroyed all Bengal. Now here you are destroying all my plans. Sanatana Goswami said, you are the supreme ruler of Bengal and are completely independent. Whenever someone commits a fault, you punish him accordingly. Hearing this, the Nawab of Bengal stood up and returned to his home. He ordered the arrest of Sanatana Goswami so that he could not be able to leave. Purport. It is said that the relationship between the Nawab of Bengal and Sanatana Goswami was very intimate. The Nawab used to consider Sanatana Goswami his younger brother. And when Sanatana Goswami showed a very strong intention to resign, the Nawab, feeling familiar affection, essentially said, I am your elder brother, but I do not look after the state management. My only business is attacking other states with my soldiers and fighting everywhere as a plunderer. Because I am a meteor, Yavana, I am used to hunting all kinds of living entities. In this way, I am destroying all kinds of living entities in Bengal. While engaged in this destructive business, I am hoping that you will attend to the administration of the state. Since I, your elder brother, am engaged in such a destructive business, you being my younger brother should look after the state management. If you do not, how will things continue? This talk was based on a family relationship, and Sanatana Goswami also replied in an intimate and joking way. Essentially, he's told the Nawab, my dear brother, you are the independent ruler of Bengal. You can act in whatever way you like. If someone commits a fault, you can punish him accordingly. In other words, Sanatana Goswami was saying that since the Nawab was accustomed to acting like a plunderer, he should go ahead and take action. Since Sanatana was not showing much enthusiasm for performing his duty, the Nawab should dismiss him from his service. The Nawab could understand the intentions of Sanatana Goswami's statement. He therefore left in an angry mood and ordered Sanatana Goswami's arrest. Text 28. At that time, the Nawab was going to attack the province of Orissa, and he told Sanatana Goswami, come along with me. Purport. Hushan Shah attacked the neighboring province of Orissa in 1424 Sakab era. That's 1502 AD. At that time, he conquered the feudal princes there. 29. Sanatana Goswami replied, you are going to Orissa to give pain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For this reason, I am powerless to go with you. The Nawab again arrested Sanatana Goswami and kept him in prison. At this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed for Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri. That would be his first attempt to go to Vrindavan, because he turned around and left. Because one of the things, when he left, he had these huge crowds that would follow him everywhere, and everywhere he'd gather, huge crowds. So Sanatana Goswami will eventually meet him, and he'll give him some advice and say that it's not proper to go to Vrindavan with these huge crowds. And so at first he didn't give it much attention, but then later reflecting on it, realized, yes, this is not proper, and then left and went back to Jagannath Puri. The two persons, 31, the two persons who went to Jagannath Puri to inquire about the Lord's departure returned and informed Rupa Goswami that the Lord had already departed for Vrindavan. Upon receiving the message from his two messengers, Rupa Goswami immediately wrote a letter to Sanatana Goswami saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had departed for Vrindavan. In this letter, Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote, "We two brothers are starting out to go see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You must also somehow or other get released and come with us." Purport. The two brothers herein mentioned are Rupa Goswami and his younger brother, Anupam Milak. Rupa Goswami was informing Sanatana Goswami that he should join him and his younger brother. And his younger brother is also the father of Jiva Goswami. It was his father. He was 34. Rupa Goswami further informs Srila Sanatana Goswami, "I have left a deposit of 10,000 coins with the grocer. Use that money to get out of prison. Somehow or other, get yourself released and come to Vrindavan." After writing this to two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Anupad went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami's younger brother was a great devotee whose actual name was Sri Vallabha. He was given the name Anupam Milak. Sri Rupa Goswami and Anupam Milak went to Prayag, and they were very pleased to hear the news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. At Prayag, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see the temple of Bindu Madhava, and many hundreds of thousands of people followed him just to see him. Some of the people following the Lord were crying, some were laughing, some were dancing, and some were chanting. Indeed, some of them were rolling on the ground, exclaiming, "Krishna, Krishna." Prayag is located at the confluence of two rivers, the Ganges and the Yamuna. Although these rivers were not able to flood Prayag with water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inundated the whole area with waves of ecstatic love for Krishna. Seeing the great crowd, the two brothers remained standing in a secluded place. They could see that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ecstatic to see Lord Bindu Madhava. The Lord was loudly chanting the holy name of Hari, dancing in ecstatic love, and raising his arms, he asked everyone to chant Hari, Hari. Everyone was astounded to see the greatness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, I cannot properly describe the pastimes of the Lord at Prayag. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had made an acquaintance with a Brahmin from Deccan in South India, and that Brahmin invited him for meals and took him to his place. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting in a solitary place in the home of that Deccan Brahman, Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabha, Anupam Milak, came to meet with him. Seeing the Lord from a distance, the two brothers put two clumps of straw between their teeth and immediately fell down on the ground like rods, offering their obeisances. Both brothers were overwhelmed with ecstatic emotion, and reciting various Sanskrit verses, they stood up and fell down again and again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to see Rupa Goswami, and he told him, stand up, my dear Rupa, come here." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, "It is not possible to describe Krishna's mercy, for he has delivered you both from the well of material enjoyment." Lord Krishna said, "Even though a person is a very learned scholar of Sanskrit Vedic literatures, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. Even though a person is born in a family of dog-eaters, he is very dear to me. If he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activities or mental speculation, indeed, all respect should be given to him, and whatever he offers should be accepted. Such devotees are as worshipable as I am. Purport. This verse is included in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, compiled by Sanatana Goswami. So we see here he's speaking to Rupa. Right, I mentioned he's talking to him. But a lot of things he said to Rupa wind up in Sanatana Goswami's books, and here's one of the examples. We'll see that in this section here, Lord Chaitanya quotes a lot of verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, in his preaching. So text 51. After reciting this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced the two brothers, and out of his causeless mercy, he placed his feet on their heads. After receiving the Lord's causeless mercy, the two brothers folded their hands and in great humility offered the following prayers unto the Lord. O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. We offer our respectful obeisance unto the merciful, supreme personality of Godhead, who has converted all the three worlds, which are maddened by ignorance, and saved them from their diseased condition by making them mad with nectar from the treasure house of love of God. Let us take full shelter of that supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna Chaitanya, whose activities are wonderful. Purport. This verse is found in the Govinda Lilamrita, which was written by the author here, Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's also the author of that book. 55. After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set them down by his side and asked them, what news do you have of Sanatan? Rupa Goswami replied, Sanatan has now been arrested by the government of Hussain Shah. If you kindly save him, he can be liberated from that entanglement. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Sanata has already been released from his confinement, and he will very soon meet with me. And then, of course, we'll read that story after this. Coming up. 58. That Brahmin then requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept his lunch. Rupa Goswami also remained there that day. Balabhaja Bhattacharya invited the two brothers to take lunch also. The remnants of food from the plate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offered to them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu selected his residence beside the confluence of the Ganges and the Yamuna, a place called Triveni. The two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabha, selected their residence near the Lord's. At that time, Sri Vallabha Bhatt was staying at Adila Gram, and when he heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived, he went to his place to see him. Purport. Vallabha Bhatt was a great learned scholar of Vaishnavism. In the beginning, he was very much devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Since he thought that he could not receive proper respect from him, he later joined Vishnu Swami sect and became the Acharya of that sect. This sect is celebrated as the Vallabha Acharya Sampradaya. This Sampradaya has had great influence in Vrindavan near Gokul and in Bombay. Vallabha Bhatt wrote many books, including a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam called Subodhini Tika, and notes on the Vedanta Sutra in the form of Anubhashya. He also wrote a combination of 16 short works called Sodasa Grantha. The village where he was staying, Adilagram or Adaligram, was near the confluence of the rivers Ganges and Yamuna. On the other side of the Yamuna from Prayag, about 1 mile from the river, a temple of Lord Vishnu there there still belongs to the Vallabha Sampradaya. He probably mentioned that he was very influenced in Bombay, because when he was building the temple there, and that whole preaching center, sometimes the devotees in there, not understanding their enthusiasm, made some comments about that sect, that Lord Chaitanya is better. It caused a little bit of problem. This you can read in volume 4 of the Transcendental Diary of, this is in 76, and so Prabhupada had to put out these fires, with this, because he wanted good relationships with these people. So Vallabha Bhat was originally from a place in South India called Traligunga. There's a railway station there called Nada da Balu. 16 miles from that station is a village called Kankat Davada, or Kanu Raparu. A learned scholar named Lakshman Dixita used to live there, and Vallabha Bhat was his son. There were 5 sessions of the Brahmin community of Andhra Pradesh, known as Bela Nati, Vegi Nati, Marathi Nati, Telugu Nati, and Kalash Nati. Out of these 5 brahminical communities, Vallabhacharya took his birth in the community of Bela Nati in the year 1400 Sakab era, 1478 AD. According to some people, Vallabha Bhattacharya's father took sannyas before Vallabha's birth, and he returned home to take Vallabhacharya as his son. According to the opinion of others, Vallabhacharya was born in 1400 Sakab era on the Ekadasi day of the dark moon in the month of Chaitra. He took his birth in a Brahmin family surname, Kamban Patibaru. According to this account, his father's name was Lakshman Bhatta Dixita, and he was born in Champakaranga. In someone else's opinion, Vallabhacharya appeared near the village named Champa Jaragram, which is near a railroad station named Rajima in Madhya Pradesh. After studying for 11 years at Varanasi, Vallabhacharya returned home. On his return, he heard that his father had departed from the material world. Keeping his brother and mother at home, he went to the banks of the river Tunga Bhadra to a village named Vidyanarga, where he enlightened Krishna Dev, the grandson of the king Bukraj. After that, he traveled throughout India thrice on trips lasting 6 years each. Thus he passed 18 years and became victorious in his discussion of the real scriptures. He was 30 years old. He married Mahalakshmi, who belonged to the same Brahmin community as his. Near Govardhan Hill, he established a deity in the valley. Finally, he came to Adila, which is on the other side of the Yamuna from Prayag. Vallabhacharya had 2 sons, Gopinath and Vitaleshwara, and in his old age, he accepted the renounced order. In 1452, Sakab era, AD 1530, he passed away from the material world at Varanasi. His book, known as Sodasha Grantha, and his commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, Anubhasha, and Srimad Bhagavatam, Sunodhini, are very famous. He wrote many other books besides. His 18 years he traveled on pilgrimage. It said here 6 years, 3 times, 6 years each. And Nityananda left home. We're going to be celebrating Nityananda's appearance pretty soon. So he left home at 12 years old. His Sanatana Guru, his sannyas guru took him and described that he spent 20 years traveling. So he figured it took him 6 years to travel 3 times. So Nityananda traveled for 20 years, and then he went to Vrindavan. So he was 32 years old. He was waiting for Lord Chaitanya to manifest his pastimes. So when Lord Chaitanya, manifests his pastimes, then Nityananda came. So we know that Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at 24 years old. So it was when Nityananda came, so he probably was maybe 22, 23. So they spent some time there at Navadvip before he left. So you can see the age difference there of probably, what's that, 7, 8 years difference. That's 12 years. Well, that'd be 36. So he's 32 when he came. Yeah, so we're talking about 8 years difference, roughly. Okay, so text 62. That's in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, that description of that timeline. 62. Vallabhabhacharya offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. After that, they discussed topics about Krishna for some time. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt great ecstatic love when they began discussing Krishna. But the Lord checked his feelings because he felt shy before Vallabhabhat. Although the Lord restrained himself externally, ecstatic love raged within. There was no checking that. Vallabhabhat was astounded to detect this. Thereafter, Vallabhabhat invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch, and the Lord introduced the brothers Rupa and Vallabha to him. From a distance, the two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabha, fell on the ground and offered obeisances to Vallabhabhat with great humility. When Vallabhabhacharya walked towards them, they ran away to a more distant place. Sri Rupa Goswami said, "I am an untouchable and most sinful. Please do not touch me." Vallabhabhat was very much surprised at this. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, was very pleased. He therefore spoke to him this description of Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Don't touch him, for he belongs to a very low caste. You are a follower of Vedic principles, and a well-experienced performer of many sacrifices. You also belong to aristocracy." Purport. Generally, Brahmins are puffed up with false prestige because they belong to aristocracy and perform many Vedic sacrifices. In South India especially, this fastidious position is most prominent. At any rate, this was the case 500 years ago. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually started a revolution against this rabbinical system by inaugurating the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By this chanting, one can be delivered regardless of caste, creed, or color, or social position. Whoever chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is immediately purified due to the transcendental position of devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here hinting to Vallabhabhat that an exalted Brahmin who makes sacrifices and follows Vedic principles should not neglect a person who is engaged in devotional service by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Actually, Rupa Goswami did not belong to a lower caste. He was from a highly aristocratic Brahmin family, but due to his association with the Muslim Nawab, he was considered fallen and was excommunicated from the Brahmin society. However, due to his advanced devotional service, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as a Goswami. Vallabhabhacharya knew all this. One who is a devotee is above caste and creed. Yet Vallabhabhacharya felt himself prestigious. The present head of the Vallabhabhacharya Sampradaya Bombay is named Dixita Maharaj. He is very friendly to our movement, and whenever we meet him, this learned Brahmin scholar highly praises the activities of the Hare Krishna movement. For he is a life member of our society, and although he is a learned scholar and a Brahminical caste although he is a learned scholar in the Brahminical caste tradition, he accepts our society and considers its members bona fide devotees of Lord Vishnu. Text number 70. Hearing the holy name constantly vibrated by the two brothers, Vallabha Bhattacharya could understand the hints of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vallabha Bhattacharya said, since these two are constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna, how can they be untouchable? On the contrary, they are most exalted. Purport. Vallabha Bhattacharya's admission of the brothers' exalted position should serve as a lesson to one who is falsely proud of his position as a Brahmin. Sometimes, so-called Brahmins do not recognize our European and American disciples as devotees or Brahmins. And some Brahmins are so proud that they do not allow them to enter temples. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu herein gives a great lesson. Although Vallabha Bhattacharya was a great authority on Brahmanism and a learned scholar, he admitted that those who chant the holy name are bona fide Brahmins and Vaishnavas and are therefore exalted. Text 72. Vallabha Bhattacharya then recited the following verse. My dear Lord, one who always keeps your holy name on his tongue becomes greater than an initiated Brahmin. Although he may be born in a family of dog-eaters and may therefore, by material calculation, be the lowest among men, he is still glorious. This is the wonderful effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord. It is therefore concluded that one who chants the holy name of the Lord should be understood to have performed all kinds of austerities and great sacrifices performed in the Vedas. He has already taken his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. He has studied all the Vedas, and he is actually an Aryan. Purport. This verse is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 33, text number 7. Text 73. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to hear Vallabha quoting from Shastra about the position of a devotee. The Lord praised him personally, and feeling ecstatic love of Godhead, began to quote many verses from Shastra. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, a person who has the pure characteristics of a Brahmin due to his devotional service, which is like a blazing fire burning to ashes all the sinful reactions of past lives, is certainly saved from the consequences of sinful acts, such as taking a bath in a lower family. Even though he may be born in a family of dog-eaters, he is recognized by learned scholars. But although a person may be a learned scholar in Vedic knowledge, he is not recognized if he is an atheist. Purport, this is a verse, and the next are quoted from the Hari Bhakta Sunhodaya, 3.11 and 12, a transcendental literature extracted from the Puranas. So it's another history book. 75. For a person devoid of devotional service, birth in a great family or nation, knowledge of revealed scriptures, performance of austerities and penance, and chanting of Vedic mantras are all like ornaments on a dead body. Such ornaments simply serve the concocted pleasures of the general populace. So Lord Chaitanya there is being very stressful about comparing the holy name to everything else. Everything else is there to support deity worship, Srimad Bhagavatam class, association of the devotees, It's all there to support and to purify our chanting, to help us purify our chanting. When the Lord saw the Lord's ecstatic love, Vallabha Bhattacharya was certainly very much astonished. He was also astonished by the Lord's knowledge of the essence of devotional service, as well as by his personal beauty and influence. Vallabha Bhattacharya then put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates aboard a boat and took them to his own place to offer them lunch. While crossing the river Yamuna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the glossy black water and was immediately bewildered with ecstatic love. Indeed, as soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the river Yamuna, he immediately made a great sound and jumped into the water. Everyone was filled with fear and trembling to see this. They all hastily grabbed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and pulled him out of the water. Once on the boat's platform, the Lord began to dance. Due to his great weight, the boat began to tilt. It began filling up with water and was on the verge of sinking. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to restrain himself as far as possible before Vallabha Acharya. But although he tried to keep calm, his ecstatic love could not be checked. Seeing the circumstances, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally became calm so that the boat was able to reach the shore of Adila and land there. Fearing for the Lord's welfare, Vallabha Bhattacharya stayed in his association. After arranging for his bath, the Bhattacharya took the Lord to his own home. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at his home, Vallabha Bhattacharya, being greatly pleased, offered the Lord a nice sitting place and personally washed his feet. Vallabha Bhattacharya and his whole family then sprinkled the water over their heads. They then offered the Lord new underwear and outer garments. Vallabha Acharya worshipped the Lord with great pomp, offering incense, flowers, and lamps. And with great respect, he induced Vallabha Bhattacharya, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, the Lord's cook, to cook. So, Balabhadra Bhattacharya has been with Lord Chaitanya since he took sannyas. He was one of the 4 people that traveled from Navadvip to take sannyas, and he's also one that travels with him, except with South India, when he goes to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offered lunch with great care and affection. The brothers Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabha were also offered food. Anybody got any questions or any comments? Yes. Well, you got, so he left home at 12 years old, spent 2 years traveling around India, and he stays in Vrindavan at the end. He also went to Jagannath Puri during all those pilgrimages, but he stays in Vrindavan. So that's 32 years. So at the age of 32 years, and then he comes and sees Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if Lord Chaitanya took sannyas at 24, that doesn't really mention the exact date that he came and how, his age, how long Lord Chaitanya spent. Was it a year together or 2 years together before Lord Chaitanya took sannyas? Because he also went with Lord Chaitanya when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas. He was also one of the ones that went. Chandrasekhar was another one. And so if you just take 24, 32 from that is 8 years. 12 years, I'm sorry, 12 years. So, that's 36. Okay, so there was 4 years spent together. Okay. 4 years they spent together. Okay, so we got that clarified. So it's 4 years that Navadweep, that all those pastimes we were been discussing with them two together. Okay. It's good that we cleared that up. Yeah, because I wasn't quite sure on, I knew he was 32 when he came. So I don't know, and I knew Lord Chaitanya was 24 when he left for take sannyas. Yeah, so you subtract 4 years from that, that's 20, and that's 12. So that's where the 12 years comes from. Okay. Okay, all glories to Shri Gauranga and Sri Guru.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvantam Aravindanalayataksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adipurusham Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana Kaliya Damana Vidana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasha Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarabara Vamsi Badana Suvasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarabara Vamsi Badana Suvasa Braja Janapalana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godana Rakoala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Nasarasika Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Rasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakti Vinodasraya Bhakti Vinodasraya Yashomati Nandana Brajabaro Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Vipina Purandara Navina Nagarabara Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Bhakti Vinoda Dasraya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda, Radha Goloka Nanda, Hare Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda, Radha Goloka Nanda, Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Panchatattva, Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Lord Krishna is beloved son of Jashoda, transcendental lover in the land of Braja, the delight of Gokula, known by the nickname Kana, the wealth of the lives of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid and punisher of the serpent Kaliya. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braja, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute, an excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braja, destroyer of demonic dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj, wander of the Jamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, the great dancer of Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavavadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Bodhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Diswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Baram Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Nitami Amitas Manane Nakala Eta Jusita Vakripan Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishangi Hanganina Nuraga Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajagadishakamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatad Bhaktirahutuki Twai Ainandantanuja Kinkaram Patita Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddho Kripaya tava pada pankaja stita duli satrishtam vinchintaya. Nayanam galada srudaraya vadanam gadgada rudargira. Bulakar nichitam vabukada tava namagranai shati. Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam. Sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda vidahena me. Ashlisha pararatam vinastumam adarshanam marmahatam karutova. Yatatata varvadalampato mrat pranastu saeva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. These transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will my hairs stand on body and on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in your world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his